Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha Teacher. Children, we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, isn't it? Because of that, we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean that we are going to stop learning. We are going to meet here regularly through the virtual training center to learn many lessons in EVS. So come on, let's go to a lesson in EVS. Come on children, let us continue with the lesson that we were doing in standard 4th and the subject was EVS 2. Now do you recall which was the name of the lesson? Yes, it was lesson number 12, the siege of Purandar and the treaty with the Mughal emperor. Now children, we did part 1 of the lesson last time. I told you it is a big lesson. So let us break it up into 2 parts and let us do it. So we saw the first video last week. So come on, let's see part 2 of this lesson or the second video of this lesson. That is lesson number 12, the siege of Purandar and the treaty with the Mughal emperor. Now before we move on, let us just go a little bit into the flashback and let us try and see what had happened in the previous video. So we saw that Shivaji had this kind of a victory over Shaista Khan, and he cut off Shaista Khan's fingers. Okay, and what happened was Shaista Khan was totally demoralized and he gave up the fight and he ran away. Now because of this, Aurangzeb was very happy, very angry. He was not happy at all with Shaista Khan. He was very angry and he transferred Shaista Khan to Bengal. Okay, and we also saw that this was the first serious blow to the Mughal power. So after this victory, Shivaji did not sit idle at all. And why did he not sit idle? Because Aurangzeb's troops were creating a lot of havoc in the state of Maharashtra. They were causing a lot of disturbance, a lot of destruction in the state of Maharashtra. So Shivaji did not sit idle at all. What did Shivaji do? He raided Surat. Now Surat was a very wealthy city. It was a very rich city and it was a center of trade in the Mughal Empire. So to bring the emperor to his senses, to teach the emperor a lesson, Shivaji carried out a raid on Surat. And what happened after the raid? Shivaji was very successful in the raid and he brought home a booty, that is the loot worth lakhs of rupees. But for the same, when we were seeing the video last time, I told you that Shivaji did not give up on his ethics during the raid in Surat. He spared the churches, he spared the mosques in the place, and also he did not show any kind of disrespect to the women there. Now before the raid on Surat, of course the emperor was very angry. Okay, now once the raid was carried out on Surat, the emperor was furious. He was so angry that now Shivaji is causing more damage to me. So now he decided that he will put an end to the Maratha kingdom. And for that, what did he do? He sent his great general, that is Mirza Raje Jai Singh, to humble Shivaji. He sent him in order to teach him a lesson. Okay, along with this person, he also sent another Sardar, okay, to assist Mirza Raje, and that was Sardar Diler Khan. So these two people were sent to Deccan, okay, in order to teach Shivaji a lesson. Now the two landed in Deccan with a huge army and also they had lots of funds. That is, they had lots of money, they had lots of weapons, they had guns, they had cannons and everything. Okay, so now it was in a position that Swaraj was in real danger. The situation for Swaraj was really changing and the situation was becoming dangerous. Okay, so then we saw how this person, that is Diler Khan, what happened? He surrounded the fort of Purandar and he laid siege to the fort of Purandar. Why? Because the fort of Purandar was a very strong fort. Okay, and they knew that Shivaji's strength laid in the fort of Purandar. And Diler Khan knew that as long as Purandar was not won from Shivaji, they could not defeat him. And that is why they decided to lay siege to the fort of Purandar. And we also saw that it was Murar Baji who was in charge of the fort of Purandar. Okay, so he also did his best in order to defend the fort. Now Diler Khan's guns, they went into action, and fiery cannonballs began to drop on the fort. And because of all this, the first bastion or the first marchi, the first bastion collapsed. Okay, there was a big hole in the wall, and Diler Khan's troops, they captured the lower fort. So these Marathas, they moved to the higher part of the fort or to the upper fort. So you can see how Murarbaji and his men are holding the fort, but because of the gunfire, the bastion, that is the covering of wall or the wall which is guarding the fort, it has collapsed. There's a big hole in it, and all the soldiers, Mughal soldiers, are entering the fort, and they have now captured the lower fort. And you will see that the Maratha soldiers, they withdrew to the higher fort and they continued to fight. But what happened because of all this? Because of all this, Murarbaji became very, very angry, and he decided to attack the Mughal troops with a select contingent of 500 men. He decided that I will keep 500 men with me, and now I will go in full force and I will attack the Mughal forces. Okay, and we also saw how Murarbaji fought like a lion. Okay, his sword moved like lightning, and he cut the throats of people, he broke heads, and he pierced the hearts of the army. And now there was no one who could stop him or who could hold him in check. And you can see Diler Khan is also sitting on the elephant, and he is watching him with a lot of admiration. Okay, he is watching him with a lot of, you can say, he wants someone like Murarbaji to be on his side. Alright, so he's got a lot of admiration and a lot of respect for Murarbaji, even though he is his enemy. And why does this respect come out of? This respect comes out of the bravery that Murarbaji had within him. So all these things we saw last time, and we could see how Diler Khan was watching in admiration of the great deeds of this great Maratha warrior. Now let us move on and let us talk about Murarbaji's incomparable valor. Okay, that is, incomparable means something which you cannot compare with anything else, and valor means courage. Okay, so what happens after this? Seeing Diler Khan, what does Murarbaji do? Murarbaji asked his troops to attack in full force, and he himself advanced towards Diler Khan. Whoever tried to obstruct him was cut to pieces. Why? Because what Murarbaji wanted to do, he wanted to kill Diler Khan. So the moment Diler Khan is killed, the whole army will run away. Okay, if the leader collapses, the whole army will collapse. All the soldiers will be disheartened. So Murarbaji's main aim was to shoot down, to kill down Diler Khan. Okay, so now you will see that he's attacking Diler Khan with full force. Okay, now Mughal troops, what they did? The Mughal troops, they surrounded Murarbaji on all sides. And because he was advancing towards Diler Khan, isn't it? So Diler Khan's troops, slowly and slowly, they started surrounding him. And now Murarbaji was surrounded by the Mughal troops on all sides, and they were just about to attack him. Just then Diler Khan shouted. He said, "Wait, hold back your swords." He asked his soldiers to stop the attack on Murarbaji. He said, "Just wait, I want to talk to this brave person." Then Diler Khan addressed Murarbaji. What did he say? He said, "Until now, I have not seen a swordsman like you." Who's a swordsman? A swordsman is one who fights using a sword. "You come over to our side. I promise you complete safety. The emperor will make you a sardar and reward you with a jagir." Now he said this to whom? He said this to Murarbaji, who was such a brave and loyal soldier of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. What do you think? Murarbaji would have become very happy? He would have agreed? What happened? Murarbaji was very angry. His eyes were red with anger. Murarbaji said in return, "We are the loyal servants of Shivaji Maharaj. Who wants to buy safety from you? Why should we come over to your side? And who wants your emperor's Jagir? So, see, these people were not at all attracted by the money, by the power which was being offered to them. All they were interested in is loyalty to the empire, loyalty to their king, and Swaraj. So, see how angry he is? He was very angry. Okay? And what did he do? He moved forward towards Diler Khan to attack him. Now, Diler Khan, he was sitting on the howdah, that is, he was sitting on the elephant carriage, okay, on the back of the elephant. He was sitting in a higher position. He released an arrow which pierced Murar Baji's neck. So he was angry now. Diler Khan was very angry that Murar Baji did not listen to him. He did not accept his offer. So in return, in a fit of anger, what did Diler Khan do? He, in a way, cheated, you can say, Murar Baji. He sat on top and he released an arrow which pierced Murar Baji's neck. Now the neck is a very, very delicate part of our body. Okay, so an injury to a neck could kill a person. So this is what he intended. Diler Khan intended to kill Murar Baji. Now Murar Baji fell to the ground. His followers lifted his dead body and took it back to the upper fort. So you can see Murar Baji lying down there. He is totally injured and there is this arrow piercing his neck and he's lost a lot of blood also. What did his people do? They carried him back and they took him to the fort, okay, to the upper part of the fort. Why? Because it was, the lower part was already in the hands of the Mughals. Okay, so what happened then? His followers, see, you can see them, that he is being carried on the shoulder by his soldiers. All right, and the soldiers were not at all disheartened. What did they say? They said, what if one Murar Baji is fallen? We too are brave like him. And they also said that we will fight with courage. Saying so, they began to fight again without losing heart. Okay, so they were not disheartened because their leader, their Sardar, was killed. In fact, they said, we will fight more bravely now. So what if he is not there? Okay, we will act as if he's still physically, mentally, he's still present with us and we will fight. Now this news reached whom? This news reached Shivaji. Now Shivaji heard the news with great sorrow. He knew that he could hold each one of his forts against the Mughal army for at least more than once a year. He knew that I can hold all my forts against the Mughal army. But then what is happening? What is happening is that he is losing his men. Okay, one by one, Shivaji Maharaj is losing his brave people. He had lost Baji Prabhu Deshpande and now he lost Murar Baji also. So he was unwilling to do this at the cost of his men who would die in the attempt. So he knew that he could fight with the Mughal army. No doubt he could fight with the Mughal army. But in this fight, what is happening? He is losing his men one by one. Okay, so he did not want to do that. So he became very, very worried. He started getting very, very tense that he is losing one after one of his brave soldiers. So then what did he do? That is when he decided to sign the Treaty of Purandar. Okay, now what is the meaning of a treaty? A treaty means a kind of an understanding, a kind of a samjhauta. So that is when he decided, not because he could not fight, he decided to sign the treaty because he did not want to kill more of his soldiers. Okay, now what could be done? He was not strong enough to fight the powerful Mughals. All his political skills was of no avail. So there was only one thing that he could do. And what could he do? He decided to temporarily withdraw from the fight. Temporarily, okay? He was not giving up on his dream of Swaraj. He decided that for the time being, let me withdraw from the fight, and he decided that he would enter into a treaty with the Mughal emperor. So, deciding this, keeping this in mind, he went and saw Jai Singh. Okay, Mirza Jai Singh. He went and saw him. Now, this was a very sensible and statesman-like thing to do. Now, it is not necessary that a king should always fight. Sometimes the king takes such kind of decisions which is in a way good for his people. So it was a very sensible thing and a statesman-like thing. Statesman is what? A statesman is a politician. So it was a very nice thing to do, sensible thing, intelligent thing for him to do. And what did he tell Jai Singh? He told Jai Singh, Mirza Raje, you are a Rajput. You can understand our suffering. The emperor's campaigns have laid the country waste and the people are in great misery. I have undertaken this task of establishing Swaraj so that people may be happy. You should join me in this uphill task. If you agree to lead us, myself and my Mawlas will be your trusted followers. So he offered the leadership of Swaraj in a way to Mirza Raje because Mirza Raje was a Rajput. Okay, and Rajput are supposed to be great lovers of the nation. They are supposed to be very brave people. So he gave this offer to Mirza Raje. Now Mirza Raje was also a very, very shrewd politician. That is, he was a very, very smart fellow. He was a very shrewd diplomat. Now, who's a diplomat? A diplomat is a person who brings contact between two countries. Okay, who tries to establish relationship between two countries. Now, he was also a very smart fellow. What did he say? What did Jai Singh say? He persuaded Shivaji to sign a treaty of peace with the emperor. So, you can see here, Shivaji, he was persuaded by Mirza Raje to sign a treaty of peace with the Mughal emperor. That is, the Mughal emperor will not attack Shivaji's kingdoms and Shivaji in return will not go to war with the Mughal emperor. But this came at a cost. Okay, it doesn't come free of cost. Now, according to the treaty, in the Treaty of Purandar, which was signed between Shivaji and Jai Singh on the 11th of June 1665, Shivaji agreed to give up 23 of his forts. So see, he has agreed that I will give up these forts. I will no longer claim that they are mine and also pay a compensation of 4 lakh rupees to the Mughals. Can you see how unfair it was? The Mughals were coming and attacking the kingdom. They were looting the people, and when Shivaji wanted to put a stop to that, they were in fact punishing Shivaji by taking away his forts also and also levying a fine on him. So these were the unfair kind of things which were carried out in those times. He also agreed to let his son Sambhaji become a Mughal Sardar, serve the Mughal court of Aurangzeb and fight alongside the Mughals against Bijapur. So this was a kind of a temporary agreement which Shivaji made, okay, with the Mughals. He agreed that I will also fight with you and my son Sambhaji will also become a Mughal Sardar. Okay, so this was exactly what happened in the Treaty of Purandar, which was signed in 1665. Now, once the treaty was signed, Jai Singh suggested to Shivaji that he should go to Agra to see the emperor because now the treaty has been signed, isn't it? Now everything is peaceful between Shivaji and the Mughal emperor. So Jai Singh said that you should go to Agra and you should meet the Mughal emperor. You should be his guest. Okay? And at the same time, he also guaranteed that Shivaji would return safely to his kingdom. Now Shivaji thought over the suggestion and he knew from experience that the emperor or these Mughals could not be trusted. That he knew that we could not trust them because he already had an experience with Afzal Khan who had told Shivaji that you are like my son, but then he had tried to kill Shivaji at the same time. Okay, he had proved treacherous to his own brothers. All right, now Aurangzeb, he had killed his own brothers, so he knew that Shivaji knew that he could not trust Aurangzeb at all. But in the end, Shivaji decided to take the risk and face the situation as cautiously as he could. And he informed Jai Singh that he was willing to go to Agra to meet the emperor. Okay, he told Jai Singh that yes, okay, I will come to Agra and I will meet with your emperor. So this was what happened in the siege of Purandar, and after the siege of Purandar, Shivaji signed the treaty with the Mughal emperor. Okay, so in this particular lesson, lesson number 12, we saw two videos for this particular lesson. In the first video, we saw and talked about the raid on Surat, and we also talked about the siege of Purandar by the Mughal army. In this video now, the second video, we talked about Murar Baji's incomparable valor, and we talked about the Treaty of Purandar. Okay, children? So that is all in this lesson. That is lesson number 12. Now, after you finish watching the video, there are small tasks also that I have set for you to solve. So please do watch the entire video and do complete the tasks also. So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.